Peter? What happened? And when was that? Jesus, now? What time is it? Okay, all right. I'll tell him to, by all means. Okay. See you there. Jonathan? Jonathan, wake up. We have a problem. Peter called. You hear me? Please wake up. We must go there at once. Then someone broke into Otomki during the night.
What's that?
I say, what a perfectly coordinated arrival, the two of you.
Well, it just so happened.
Good morning, Jonathan. I think you've met Mr. Joseph Vince already.
Good morning. Yes, we've met before.
Mr. Vince, can you tell me what happened?
I already told Mr. Lahusky everything I know. Not once. It wasn't much, and there's nothing more.
Can you get to the point, please?
Yes, I was in the porter's booth when I heard the alarm sounding from the main building. First, I thought it was just a technical failure, as there was no warning light on the dashboard. But it was loud, so I walked up there. Here. Not rushing, though.
And did you hear or see anything?
Nothing. Only it was strange that the garden entrance to the main building wasn't locked. Then I got frightened. Maybe it wasn't a false alarm after all. I didn't have my gun on me, so I grabbed a rake and came in. Then I heard the alarm was screaming from the director's foyer.
Did you see or hear any movement?
No, thank God. The door to the director's office was slightly open, and the lights were on, but there was nobody in there. The burglar must have escaped through the window, 'cause it was wide open. And then I saw this terrible mess, and Professor Saleh is on the floor.
But you silenced the alarm somehow, didn't you?
I did. I ran to the control room and saw its door was also open, and that somebody had tampered with the system. He switched off the alarm in the entire building, but the glass breakage alarm he couldn't, because it's not on the control surveillance system. It can go off any time, even if a bottle breaks.
So the alarm ignored the wall-breaking job, but when our man started the drill to cut the safe...
Yes, that shrilling sound triggered the glass breakage alarm.
When did you find this out, Peter?
Joseph alerted me. I called Vera when I arrived. This isn't a straightforward case at all.
Is this your safe?
No, I didn't even know about it. Do you think I keep a safe in my office and to be on the safe side wall it up to prevent myself from accessing it?
It's against logic indeed, but whose safe is it then?
It would be for the police to find out. But so far, I've been reluctant to call them.
Are you saying that there's been a safe in this office and nobody in this institute knew about it?
Yes, this has always been the place for Professor Soloy's portrait.
And yet, apparently the burglar knew exactly where to find whatever he'd been looking for.
This is why I doubt we've got a simple burglary case here.
Why haven't you called the police?
I was going to, but changed my mind. First, because nothing was taken. But I have a pretty good idea.
You think you know who it was?
Yes, but if I tell the police, it will hurt poor Vera.
Peter, you can't be serious. Are you accusing Bollage?
That would be going a bit too far, I agree.
I also feel a sense of loyalty to the boy. That's why the police aren't here yet. But let's admit, all this could easily be connected to his mysterious disappearance.
What's your theory, Peter?
I know you think I'm not sufficiently empathetic, but I have a feeling Bollage has a hand in it. Look, it's most likely that our man used a key to get through the doors and knew the security codes too. He disabled the alarm in the control room, and tried to open a safe which nobody from the outside could know about. Don't you think the boy's secret master plan must have been something like this? Only it failed when he put it into action.
Peter, how can you assume anything of the sort of my brother?
Okay, take it easy. This is just a theory. Neither of us can prove anything.
Indeed, we can't. The security cameras didn't provide anything useful, and the situation is rather delicate, isn't it?
Peter, something tells me you have a plan. What is it?
I've asked you to come here because I want to make an alliance. Nobody else knows about the case.
So, do we keep the burglary confidential?
For the time being. That is, to give you both a chance. I want you to find Borlage today, or else he'll become a suspect for attempted burglary.
I think this is a generous offer, and our only chance is to accept it. Although I don't have much to act upon, I shall find Borlage and prove he wasn't here during the night.
I know it's not easy, but you have to understand there's a limit to everything.
Understood.
Peter, I still cannot accept...
There's no time for this, Vero. We must act quickly. First of all, I must examine the scene. The safe, the tools, everything.
I don't see why you should, if you think the boy was out of it.
Because you think he wasn't. That is, because we cannot exclude the possibility...
Now you too? Have you all gone crazy?
Please, my dear, it'll be all right. Jonathan can examine the safe if he won't destroy the traces.
I'll do my best.
What a mess. This wasn't just a simple burglary. This chest has 6 compartments, all filled with tiny objects. 6 locks. I wonder what's inside that needs such a robust protection.
Mr. Vince, you've just said the garden entrance was open. Why are you so sure the burglar left through the window? Maybe he opened it just to mislead us and hid somewhere. And when you came in, he slipped out behind you. I understand nobody saw him escape.
Nobody. But on one of the security cameras, very dimly, captured a dark figure jumping over the fence at the rear entrance. Quick as a panther, he was.
Quick as a panther? My brother?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. An older man who's fit enough can do it.
That's right.
If he has a good reason.
There's one more thing. The same camera saw a car turning from the side road at a high speed.
You didn't tell me this.
Why, there's nothing to that. It can happen any time.
Yes, but I can recognize that car anywhere. I could swear it was the black Land Rover of Mr. Palos.
Egon Palos?
Come on. Egon Palos, quick as a panther?
I'm not saying it was him. As far as I know, he left by plane in the afternoon.
What?
He took a taxi to the airport. A friend of mine was the driver.
Tell me, did you know about this safe?
No way. Never seen it. Never heard of it before.
Probably a fireplace had been here earlier.
Maybe. But there's been no fireplace here since I've worked here. And that's 25 years.
I've seen photos from the 1950s. There's no sign of a fireplace in them. It must have been walled up earlier.
Peculiar. I examined the safe. It's locked and practically intact. It's got a rare type of combination lock, but what's more peculiar is that little chest in front of the safe's door. It contains various tiny objects in compartments. A seemingly pointless collection, lacking any logic. Small bottles, pieces of bones, a coin, some notes. I suggest you all have a good look at it. It might turn out to be some forgotten time capsule, left behind by someone we ought to find out.
But how can we do it without spoiling the traces? How do I explain it to the police?
I don't think we need the police at all. There's not much damage if nothing was taken. On the other hand, we found something important. A safe of unknown origin and contents, and a collection of bric-a-brac. these could be of considerable historical value for Otomki. Now, without having the police around, we have the chance to open the safe and solve the puzzle.
You mean to find out who the burglar was and how he knew about this safe?
Yes, because, nevertheless, I'm quite confident that I'll find Balaj, prove he didn't do this, and reveal the real perpetrator by the end of the day.
Will you really, Monsieur Poirot?
Jonathan, you know?
It's only a presumption as of yet.
Okay, it's a deal. We will also scrutinize everything and find out whatever we can about the safe. Excuse me. Yes, speaking?
What? Incredible!
Yes, you did the right thing.
By all means. I'll let her know right away.
What happened now?
Good news. Balaj was found.
What?
He's just been freed from a locker in the basement.
The poor thing. Has he been there for days?
Not likely. Where is he now?
He's resting in your office, Veril. They've brought him something to eat.
Unbelievable. Hear this, Jonathan. He's back.
I told you, and I'm sure he can explain.
Please forgive me, Peter, but now I must go there.
Of course, my dear. This is natural. Your chef, could you check that locker, please?
Yes, sir, right away.
You're coming too, aren't you? I'm so happy.
But, my dear... Henrik, I'm calling you about an important matter. I need your help. Right now.
Would you mind answering properly? We're starving for explanation.
What? I'm terribly hungry.
Of course you are.
What if we played a game? You let him eat and ask your questions. I will try to answer. Balaj can protest if I'm wrong. How about this?
I like the idea.
Aren't you too confident? Well, let's do it. Where have you been? I should like to know.
In a house nearby, but he didn't come out at all.
Correct.
Jonathan says you've been after some meteorite.
Originally, he'd been after a meteorite, but found something else too since then.
Nope.
Yes, he wanted to get a meteorite.
Exactly.
And why was that meteorite so exciting?
It contains a substance which is a kind of elixir of life.
Believe it or not, this is the truth.
Who told you this nonsense?
Old Mr. Vonyets, who safeguarded Professor Soloy's secrets.
Oh, that's right. How did you know?
What did the old man tell you exactly?
The turtles are immortal because Soloy manipulated them. He locked up his secret in the safe together with a meteorite.
Yep. This is what Mr. Vonyet said.
And you believed this foolish legend?
Yes. Oddly, some details of the legend proved to be true.
That's right. Huh?
What details were proved?
Meteorites often contain diamonds and gases as inclusions. As Soloy used to say, the devil is in the details.
You're wrong.
There were records on the age of the turtles, the secret components of their food, and Soloi's evaluations.
You're wrong.
The meteorite was first examined by Hotvani. It was kept in the college for a long time, then went to Soloi through Ernest Rutherford.
These, for example, yes.
Did you know that Elekesh Tut described that stone as a deadly one?
No, he had no idea, as he didn't get that far in his research.
What? Is this true? I really didn't know.
What did you have in mind? Why did you want that meteorite?
To achieve scientific results by studying it.
By no means.
To market the elixir of life worldwide.
Absurd or not, yes.
It wasn't you who broke into Otumki, was it?
No, it was Dragonich, that quack doctor of Mr. Palos.
It's obvious. The man's a genuine criminal.
How did Drogonich get the codes and the keys?
Dragonich has an inside man at Atomki. Better be careful.
No, that's not true.
Balazs tried to keep his secrets for himself, but Dragonich forced the information out of him.
Yes, that rat.
How was Palos involved?
Balazs needed advice on how to access the locked-up meteorite.
This is bullshit.
Balazs contacted Palos, seeking a promoter for his secret project.
Yes, it wasn't a bad idea, just...
And how did you plan to get the stone?
He planned to involve Lehotsky in the deal.
Oh, come on.
He wanted to steal it himself, in a less destructive way.
Right, but I wanted to do it without anyone knowing. Lehotsky was to go on vacation next week, and all the traces would have been cleared up by his return.
But why the disappearance and the farewell letter?
It was his idea. He thought nobody would suspect him while he was apparently on his way to Germany.
You're wrong, Jonathan.
Dragonich persuaded him to divert attention. Later, he realized he should have done it inside Otomki.
That's right. Just one doesn't listen to anyone else.
Then Mr. Palos doesn't even know about the case.
He does, and he's negotiating with another investor in Austria.
Erroneous conclusion.
He doesn't. Dragonich wanted everything for himself. He didn't involve Palos.
This is it.
How did you get to the cellar of the Palos house?
As Palos was to leave for weeks, Dragonich knocked him on the head and locked him up in the cellar.
Exactly. Even threatened me with a gun. Who would have done me in? They're in the cellar.
I hope you've learned a lesson in this action of yours.
Never believe a stranger, and never enter a stranger's house alone.
Not quite.
The world is far more exciting this way. He'd do it again anytime.
Not quite.
Yes, you should only set goals that are achievable. Lack of experience is a serious drawback in planning.
We could say that, but I have no reason to regret some of my actions, except I would do it differently now.
Who the hell is that? Jonathan Hunt speaking.
Lehotsky here.
Sorry, Peter. My phone didn't recognize your number. What happened?
I want to let you know that I've just made a substantial decision. We must come to an agreement.
Is it so urgent?
Look, I think the situation is perfectly clear, and so is your role in it.
Let's face it then.
We've studied the objects found in front of the safe and came to a firm conclusion.
You only mean those.
Only?
Please, go on.
Definitely. There is a connection between the objects. They are elements of a set of problems left to us by Shandor Soloy to solve.
Just as it seemed, a time capsule. Did you say puzzles?
You can put it this way. Problems that require the technology, the instruments, and the possibilities of a more advanced age, like ours today.
So Professor Soloy wanted to make sure that whoever finds the meteorite is able to examine it with adequate accuracy.
Could be. The challenges are, so to say, rather enigmatic. We cannot solve them simply by using our awesome equipment.
Because you don't know what to solve exactly.
Something like that. So let me propose a collaboration.
I thought I'm finished in Debrecen.
It's been a day of disappointment for both of us. These are puzzles, Jonathan. Solving puzzles is not our cup of tea. But we shall give you every scientific and technical support if you agree to do this investigation. You're not turning down this opportunity, are you?
No. I'm honored that you trust me. I'm on my way to look at that chest.
That's settled then. I'm going to instruct all the labs to make their capacities available to you.
Lehotsky called. He offered me a deal.
What deal?
They could open the safe with a flame cutter, but that would be madness given the danger. And there's that chest with the funny collection of junk.
What chest? What collection?
I'll tell you later.
The Atomki people found out that bric-a-brac was not just randomly put there by Professor Soloy. They believe it's some form of a riddle, hiding the combination of the safe. To access whatever is in the safe, a set of problems must be solved to prove that the scientists of posterity are equipped with the appropriate knowledge and technology.
A very odd way of an exam.
I rather think the professor was wise and far-seeing.
We agreed that I would try to tackle Soloy's challenges.
You, Jonathan Hunt, a quick and easy way from a bottle of dishwater to nuclear physics.
Okay, this cynicism doesn't help. Of course, everyone at Atomki will support my investigation.
In that case, you can officially count on me too.
Thank you. And I'd like to count on my quick-witted friend as well.
Sorry, Jonathan. Not this time.
You'd better go home, indeed. You must be exhausted and weary.
No, I've got something to arrange.
Look, I also think you should stay in a safe place. Don't forget, Dragonich is a serious threat to you, and after his failed burglary, he's as dangerous as a wounded lion.
But he's gone. Why should he stick around and let the police find him?
You're not going anywhere. Where should you, by the way?
All I can tell you, it's connected to the case. Don't worry. I'll be in good company.
Pharaoh, I don't think...
Okay, all right, but do hurry.
Don't worry. I can take care of myself. And I'll be back soon.
Damn it, now he hasn't even got a phone.
Let's see whatever there is to be seen. Trinkets. But it's unlikely that Professor Soloy's time capsule contains just worthless junk. A lead box, likely to contain something that radiates. Chinese calligraphic characters on silk. A golden coin. A slip of paper. A clock's face with red letters and numbers on semi-transparent paper. A blank signet ring. A photo of a scientist. It's at least 50 years old. A slip of paper. Photo of a rainbow with a strange message from Professor Soloy on the back. A slip of paper. 9 flasks from Professor Soloy's mysterious chest. A slip of paper. A rubber bell. An archaeological artifact, perhaps a fragment of a music instrument. An embroidered handkerchief. 6 locks, 6 numeric combinations. We need 3 numbers for each. It won't be easy.
Do you recognize this man?
Of course. This is Denis Gabor, the inventor of holography. A Hungarian-born physicist and engineer, Nobel Prize winner.
I wonder if he had any connection with Professor Soloy.
Let me see. Gabor didn't live in this country. But of course, they met once when he visited Atomki. I nearly forgot about this. Although there's a plaque on my desk with a hologram. It should remind me every day.
15 years.
Is this to commemorate the visit?
Yes. It was a present from Denis Gabor to Professor Soloy when he was here in 1969.
Anyway, it seems important.